technical details on the next over. So back to you. Kilo Charlie 3 Juliet X-Ray Golf. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Fox.
Fine to hear you here this morning, Mark. You're 5x7, 5x7. The name here is Bob, Bravo, Oscar, Bravo. We're located in western Maryland. We're around 200 miles west of Washington, D.C., and about 100 miles or so south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, up in the mountains. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kilo Charlie 3 Juliet X-Ray Golf. Very good. I suppose it's still morning? No, it must be just coming into afternoon for you. Nice to hear you from the hills of Pennsylvania today. Yeah, you're peaking 5 and 7, but with the QSB, you're dropping to about a 5 and 4. So no problem hearing you calling me. And as I say, the signal, so long as it doesn't drop below that, we should be fine. Today, Bob, I'm using an IC-7300 ICOM, you know, a very, very common radio nowadays. The antenna is my 10-meter band, 5/8 wave vertical, and the power output's about 100 watts, so probably not quite radiating 100 watts. But yeah, I'm about 15 miles southeast of the city of London in the county of Kent, Kilo Echo November Tango, and the actual town that I live in is called Sidcup, Sierra India Delta Charlie Uniform Papa. So that's the story this end, Bob. A lovely day here in the southeast of England. We got up to about 17 degrees today. Beautiful sunshine, lots of blue sky, and gave me an opportunity to go out, mow the lawn, and pull a few weeds up. Back to you there, KC3JXG M0JCF.
But very readable, and you're peaking out at 5. You are operating an IC-7300 into an ICOM CW1 linear amplifier running just around 400 watts into a hex pointed your direction up around 40 feet or so. We're actually located in the mountains of western Maryland. That's not too off the thought. 15 minutes due north. Anyhow, the weather here today is dreary and somewhat cold, and I believe we're looking at just around, about 8 degrees centigrade. It's rather chilly here today, but those things happen here in the mountains.
Yeah, do you know what? You sound like the weather that we've just had the last few weeks, Bob. It's been quite a late spring for us. Normally in the southeast of England, we get good weather at this time of the year. I mean, it's allowing me to walk around in just shorts and a t-shirt. So much to my wife and my daughter's disgust to see my legs, etc. But you know how it goes. They need to put up with it. I do like the sunshine. As I say, we had a nice weekend. Easter wasn't as good as it has been in the last few years, but you know, onwards and upwards, looking forward to summer. The noise on 12 meters today, it depends on what radio I'm using. I was getting QR Mexico of about S1 to S2 on this radio, but earlier I tried calling on my Tango Sierra 830 Sierra, and the noise was horrendous. It was around Santiago 5, so I probably would have missed you. Using that radio, I may have lost your signal just in the noise if you'd called in at the wrong time on the QSB. Back to you.
QSL there, Mark. QSL copy there. Yeah, you just faded down into Orange. We're very quiet here today. Our noise is only about a 1, but you dropped down in there. But I could hear you back in there, and I was able to read you. But living here in the mountains, in the woods, it is normally quiet. We actually live in a freshwater lake that's just live on a peninsula that is quiet, much pure community. We don't get a whole bunch of traffic back in here, and but it's rather a quiet area. Like I said, the weather is rather dreary and 8 degrees Celsius, but the late last week, my goodness, it was just absolutely gorgeous. We were running, you know, in the 80s Fahrenheit. It was very, very warm. I feel like I was up to temperature. Quite not into the short years, but not short quite yet. M0JCF, KC3JXG. Back to you, Mark.
Yeah, KC3JXG M0JCF, no problems whatsoever understanding everything that you're saying. As I say, it sounds so familiar. Yeah, we're thinking of coming over to Florida in October, my wife and I, without our daughters this time. We're thinking about going to Key West. That's one of the places I've not been to. I've been to America many times, Bob, since 1987 when I had my first trip to Florida. And I've been coast to coast now, and yeah, we're really looking forward to visiting Key West. It's one of the places that I've not visited yet, and you know, the Floridians are always complaining it's either too hot, too humid, or lo and behold, they were complaining not so long ago that it was too cold, and they were having to wear clothing that they just don't own. They've all got to go out and buy different types of clothing. I've got friends that live in the Orlando area, and I've got friends that live in the Tampa area, and yeah, they've all been complaining the last few months, and I think they even reported some time ago that they had snow, you know, and that was quite incredible to see them going on about it. But yeah, quite looking forward to October, coming down to Florida and just checking out Key West. I don't know if you've been down that way. Have you been down as far south as that, Bob? Back to you.
No, Mark, negative. The furthest south I've ever been was actually down to Naples, and it's actually on the Gulf Coast here. We have, had some friends that were living there at the time, and right after we retired, my wife and I took a trip down, and I guess it was late February, early March, let me think about this, 2008, but now that's the furthest south I have been in Florida. Now, earlier in my career, I did an awful lot of traveling for business, and actually all over the country, and actually the only foreign trip that I've ever made was into Canada, of course, but I've only ever been to Spain and the Bilbao area. My goodness, that's 38 years ago now, but it's been quite a while. We're pretty much just local kind of people. We do tours, road trips we to drive in the country. Other than that, we're pretty much homebody. And
Yeah, KC3JXG M0JCF returning. Well, it all sounds super fine. Naples, now you see, that holds dear to my heart there, Bob. It's where my wife and I had our wedding honeymoon. We had it in Naples, Florida, 1995. So we sort of know Naples. I'm sure it's changed a bit. If you look on the internet, there is actually a webcam that is looking across the beach at the pier at Naples, and every now and again we check out the webcam just to see what's happening in that area. So I know the Naples, is it municipal council or whatever they call it in the US, they've got this webcam, so you know, sort of obviously showcasing that part of the beach. There's some mangrove bushes and stuff like that just in front of the camera, and as I say, the camera looks looks down through the pier, and before now, you know, I've caught it early in the morning before the sun has risen, and you can see the fishermen who like to fish off the end of the pier. It's quite interesting to watch. But yeah, we were thinking about going from Key West back up the Mexican Gulf Coast and up through Naples, planning on staying a few days in Naples and then carrying on to maybe Clearwater or somewhere along the Nature Coast. We've been to Clearwater, St. Pete Beach and around the area many times, you know, so we sort of know the area quite well, and it helps obviously having friends in the area. But yeah, Naples, yeah, we should be visiting if we come over in October, more for nostalgia than anything. But yeah, I've been to the other side of the country, Bob. I've toured the Pacific Coast Road all the way from Oregon down to Tijuana in Mexico. Obviously, that was just cross over the border, look, and then cross back again. You know, we didn't stay more than a few hours, but we spent some time in San Diego, etc. And then I've also toured around Arizona, a nice bit of red rock country, and then up through Nevada as well. And of course, taken in the sights of the Grand Canyon and of course Las Vegas. I wasn't a big fan of Las Vegas, didn't do a lot for me. Very nice to see, but yeah, I've got no need or want to go back to Las Vegas. Back to you there, Bob. KC3JXG, this is M0JCF.
M0JCF, KC3JXG, yeah, copied you there again 100%. No, my West Coast travels have been to the Bay Area, and I think, let me think about this. Yeah, it was primarily the Bay Area, and I did some work up in actually north of there, Napa Valley stuff earlier in my career. I was in a company that was involved in lasers and stuff like that. And at that time, early on, they were getting into the lasers for earth moving equipment so they could dig ditches on grade and stuff like that. But no, I did an awful lot of flying in and out of cities and stuff like that. More of a dash into town and get the work done and dash back out, you know. But yeah, no, that's primarily what my travels are. And we talk often about making a motor tour out through the west, you know, into Yellowstone and places like that. But like I say, we're pretty much homebodies. Just don't normally get around. Anyhow, I'm going to have to move on here now, Mark. I want to thank you for coming back to my call. I certainly do appreciate it. And it was a pleasure and truly an honor to speak with you, and I wish you the best. And I hope that your trip here to the States is very enjoyable. I'm sure it will be. And I want to wish you the best. Good luck and God bless. I'll wait for your final. M0JCF, KC3JXG.
Yeah, KC3JXG, M0JCF for that final. Well, Bob, it was an absolute pleasure to spend this 15 minutes with you today. It's so much more refreshing than, you know, just 5 and 9 next, 5 and 9 next. You know how it works. I'm not against competitions, and of course I'm not against those who don't use English as their first language and really all they want to do is rack up the contacts. It's not a problem at all. But to have a nice rag with someone, you know, who lives in a country that I really like, the USA. I've got, you know, a lot of happy memories of the USA, and I hope to have more happy memories of the USA. What I may do in October, if I can convince the station manager, I may be bringing a QRP rig with me and a simple dipole that I can use maybe for 10, 12, and then maybe a dipole for 40 meters. It really depends how much I can pack in the case without the station manager seeing it. And then of course once it's there, I'm sure I can hook it up for a few hours now and again. So I may work 10 meters and maybe 40 meters, and you never know, you may just catch me on your continent working with a prefix, a US prefix on the call sign. You can often find me on 12 meters, Bob. So if you do and you want to come and say hello, please do. I'll always be happily putting you in my logbook multiple times. It's not a problem. Take care. Very best 73 to you and your family. And as I say, thank you again for the time of day. Always nice when someone comes back to my CQ call and gives it more than just a report. Always refreshing. You take care, and 73 to the whole family. Bye bye for now. KC3JXG M0JCF. QRZ, this is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, southeast of England. Nothing is heard. CQ, CQ, CQ12, CQ12, CQ12 meters. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, calling on 12. CQ12, CQ12, CQ